It's a cheap move to call the third story not a film, especially since he's been building up this whole, like,
Did
once
you
I
see
do 10 movies,
balloons?
I'm done.
I just saw balloons. No, in this on the screen. What's happening?
Because I did a hand gesture, I think.
I'm trying to do the balloons. Balloons! Happy anniversary! There's fireworks!
Do a thumbs up.
I'm so happy to be at your baby's funeral. There's no on-screen fireworks for that one.
Yeah, because it's a baby's funeral, asshole.
I've seen things that none of us seen before.
We've seen things out there.
We've seen things that most people could never understand.
And we've seen things too.
You don't know, man. You weren't there.
You'd be surprised the likes of which we have seen. Don't be so quick to say everything's the likes of which we haven't seen. We've seen things the likes of which you probably haven't seen yourself.
Is that a challenge?
Hello! How you doing? I hope I'm in focus. It's Matt. I'm here with Zach. Zach, say hi.
Hi.
A little more. So you're Bruce Willis and I'm Chris Tucker?
Hopefully not Bruce Willis now. Jesus.
Hopefully I'm not Chris Tucker now. Not because he's Chris Tucker, but because that just would be a bad look.
Because you'd be doing blackface?
Yeah. I don't want to go there.
Okay, sorry. We're off to a bad start.
Anyways, we're two indie filmmakers who co-founded the Breakneck Film Race, okay? It's a quarterly film race encouraging like-minded folks to experiment and hone their craft by producing a short film within the span of a week. But in addition to that, we've started a podcast called We've Seen Things. We talk about things and movies that we've seen. We also talk about the news on occasion. Sometimes we like to play little trivia games, and sometimes we like to talk about our own films that we made for the Breakneck Film Race. Before we get into the movie topic of this episode, which is Sexy Beast, is there any film news that comes to mind that you want to chit-chat about?
We've lived many lives, you and I. We've seen things that most people could never understand.
David Lynch has emphysema.
What?
He said he can't direct anymore because he has emphysema. So he can't, or at least he can't be on set anymore. He's like, 'cause if I get COVID, I'll probably die. Or he said something like that.
Holy shit.
He's been smoking cigarettes since he was like a fucking kid, and he still smokes. He's an old-ass man. So, can't direct anymore, I don't think. Not that he's really... I don't even know what the last thing he made was, to be honest.
Let me check the IMDb real quick. His last film, it says, Will There Be Anything Else? Oh, that's kind of a grim...
The answer is no.
Oh, no.
I think his last movie was Inland Empire.
You think so?
I think his last movie was Inland Empire, yeah.
Yeah, so that's sad to hear it. He kind of brought it upon himself, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So if there's any takeaway from it, don't smoke cigarettes.
I quit, so I'm good.
I'm proud of you for that.
Thanks.
It's hard to quit, I imagine. I still smoke meth, so work in progress. Just kidding. I don't smoke meth, Mom.
That's why you can edit for 30 hours in 24 hours.
Anyways, I have two pieces of news I'd like to switch. Unless you had something else.
No, that's it.
So two things. First up, I saw the trailer to Last of Us Season 2, and I found, to my surprise, that Jeffrey Wright will be reprising his role as Isaac.
That was kind of cool.
That alone is going to be, like, worth it for me to watch Season 2. And presumably Season 3, depending how they're splitting this game apart and whatnot.
For sure there will be a Season 3. And probably 4, to be honest. Yeah, actually, looked pretty good. I did not like the first season. I thought they made a lot of poor choices that the game did better. The writing was not nearly as good as the game, or the performances. And changing a lot of the world and, like, way less infected. And it doesn't matter. I get that video games are different from movies or TV shows. But I will say Season 2 trailer looked pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
The one thing that concerned me is the actor playing Abby, Catherine Denner, or whatever her name is. She's very slender, like very small framed. And I think like a key thing of Abby's character is her, you know, her overpowering presence of how strong she is. I mean, she's built like a fucking house.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important to her character. Like it doesn't really touch on it in the story of The Last of Us Part 2, spoiler alert.
No, I think it comes up. It's pretty relevant.
I think after certain things happen to her, her trauma, I think she uses it to like protect herself. You know, like it's like a protects her kind of sad, broken person that she is inside by becoming this extraordinarily strong tank on the outside.
Yeah, I'm seeing shots of her now. So, yeah, I mean, I see your point. She may be a little too
Small framed.
Small framed. Thank you for a role of someone who like trains for vengeance.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Me too.
But anything Jeffrey Wright is in, I'm always at the very least intrigued.
You know, I like Jeffrey Wright, but I don't think he's like the best actor.
No, but he's a pretty good one.
I don't know. Sometimes he does this voice, and I'm like, well, you sound like you're acting. Like, did you see the last James Bond movie?
Yeah, he plays Felix in that series.
And he kind of talks like this the whole time. And I was like, why is he talking like that? And then I saw another movie where he was doing that, and I was like, eh. But he was good in the first season of Westworld, so I'll give him that.
Okay, last piece of news that's very exciting. I know Zach's going to be pumped about this. I'll just wait for the fire truck to pass.
And Matt's getting swatted. That's the last piece of news.
I'm getting swatted. We're not even live. I'm getting swatted. From September 16th, Monday, September 16th to September 22nd, the Sunday evening, 11:59 p.m., we will be running the Breakneck Film Race. If anyone's watching this and it's before September 16th, please leave a comment below and we'll try to get a hold of you and bring you into the fold if you want to join us in making a film for yourself and nothing else.
That is fun news because I had forgotten. So that's good that you reminded me. Man, it's cool. I would love more people to join. Even though, like, I feel like I've used all my good ideas. And now, like, people are going to join. I'm going to have, like, a garbage piece of shit film.
How many times have you had a preemptive good idea going into this film race so far?
The one preemptive idea is my weakest film. So I guess it's... yeah, it's true.
I do have 2 ideas of how I want to finish this year with this upcoming film race and the one after that. But
okay.
I'm open to change. I'm just thinking of, like, easy ideas that aren't going to fucking give me COVID again.
I just need better equipment, dude. I mean, I'm not making, this is a no excuse film race. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses. Yeah. My own personal things, I just wish I had a better camera. That's just my biggest thing. And I don't have access to crew out here, which again is my own thing. That's why all my movies are so weird and grungy, and I'm gonna have to just keep doing that. My main thing is I'm gonna have to figure out ways to service my dialogue and direction through different mediums of, I just don't have access to that, but it's actually kind of a fun challenge to figure a way to make something that's on the level of how I feel like I can write. It's an interesting challenge.
It is a really interesting challenge. And if anyone really wants to push themselves, hell, if anyone needs a reason to just make a film, you know, like this is a good opportunity for it. Obviously, you don't need this in order to make a film, but at least we're all kind of putting our cards out there and we all kind of have a fun little watch party after it's all said and done and throw stupid superlatives around. So come join the fun.
Just no snuff films.
No snuff films. Pretty much my only recommendation is we like to put them on the website for the YouTube channel. So just try not to make anything that's going to get us banned from YouTube. That's all I ask. Otherwise, it is your film, whoever you are, when you're making your film, you own it. So you do whatever you want with it. We just also like to share them. That's all. If you're comfortable with it. Because if you feel really embarrassed, which I've been with a couple of titles, like you could just leave it private and the world doesn't have to see it.
Bury it. Just fucking bury it. You have to show it once, and then you never have to watch it ever again.
So that starts September 16th. We'll probably close the door to admission September 15th. So just, again, leave a comment and we'll try to stay in touch. With that, though, I think it's time to move on to the focus of this episode, which is
Sexy Beast.
What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst scenario? He's gonna come here. Ask me. I'm gonna say no. Do the job. No, Don. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. I can't.
You can.
I can't. Don't do this.
Do what? What am I doing?
This.
This what? I know a bloke who knows a bloke who knows a bloke. Now, you know this bloke.
Do I?
This is a bloke you know. Wants me to put a team together.
8 men. Strong. Good boys. Gotta be good boys. Look dumb.
Look dumb?
It's like this.
Like what?
I'd be useless.
Useless?
I would be.
In what way?
In every fucking way.
Why are you swearing? I'm not swearing. You think you just make you down, leave the table, lie on your pool like a fat blob laughing at me? Do you think I'm gonna have that? Do it.
I'm retired.
Do you think I'm stupid? Some twat!
I'm not really up to it.
Is your middle name ungrateful or what?
I'm retired.
Are you gonna do the job? It's not a difficult question. Yes or no? Say it. You see, Gal, where there's a will, and there is a will,
there's a way. There's always a way.
So it came out in 2000. I think I saw this film in college because I think my screenwriting professor told us to watch it because of, she's like, it's a masterclass in dialogue, which it absolutely fucking is.
Oh, totally.
Directed by Jonathan Glazer.
What else has he made?
So he's made, I think, 3 other films. 2 of them I've seen and I really like. After this, he made Birth, which I've never seen, but I don't think I can watch a movie with Nicole Kidman anymore because of her AMC thing. As soon as I see her on screen, I like get upset.
We come to this place for magic.
She is a American treasure because of those AMC
She's not
things.
even American. She's like Australian.
Yeah, well, she did her part, all right? There were nurses and doctors saving lives, and she kept us in the theaters.
Yeah, it's true.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Then he did Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, which is a wild fucking movie, which I really liked. Very experimental as well. And then he just recently did Zone of Interest, which is also a fucking wild, experimental, dark movie.
I was surprised with the tonal shift because I saw Under the Skin around when it came out, and then I saw Zone of Interest a few months ago. So, like, I took him for the dark, obscurist kind of guy, and then I saw the opening montage of Sexy Beast, and I was like, total 180.
Yeah, that's why it's amazing. That's why he's such a dynamic filmmaker, because he can do shit like that. And he was a music video director for a long time before then. So a lot of music video directors really go on to make awesome films. Like Spike Jonze was a music video director before he went on to make his first movie, which was Being John Malkovich. David Fincher was a music video director before he went on to make Alien 3, but we don't talk about Alien 3. Then he made 7.
Michel Gondry,
The Daniels more recently. So yeah, this was Jonathan Glazer's first movie after being a music video director. And yeah, it's so different from those other 2 movies that I just mentioned. Like, again, I haven't seen Birth, but you watch Zone of Interest, you watch this, you're like, there's no way those are the same filmmaker, which I fucking love.
he has that Danny Boyle approach, I guess, when it comes to, like, making different genres or whatever. You know?
That's true. Yeah, I didn't really consider that. Danny Boyle's definitely one of them. The tone to me felt like a Guy Ritchie dark comedy, like Coen Brothers-esque. Not saying that they're like that. He has his own style for sure in this movie, but it reminded me of that. And then there's moments of deep tension and deep, like, it's like almost like thriller at points. Ben Kingsley, did he win the Oscar for this? Or was he
I
nominated?
wouldn't be surprised if he did.
How fucking good was Ben Kingsley in this movie, dude?
So uncomfortably good.
Probably one of the best performances I've ever seen, ever. He didn't win. He was just nominated for that part.
Well, still, that goes a long way.
He should have fucking won, dude. He was so good. Yeah. I don't know. He said he based that performance off of his grandmother, which is terrifying.
Okay, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. So it was written by 2 guys, Louis Mellis and David Skinto. I don't really know anything other things they did, but interesting. The writer Louis Mellis, he voiced Darth Sion in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords.
Oh, I saw a friend play that once. I think it's a good game. That's pretty cool.
So it's a fucking random-ass little factoid. They also made a TV show based on this movie, which I've never seen.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's good. It's not done by the same people. I think it's just like the IP. They just did that with The Gentleman as well. I saw Netflix as a Gentleman TV show.
I was going to mention that, but I think Guy Ritchie is involved with that, isn't he?
He might be. I don't know. I heard it was pretty good, so maybe. I don't get why they turn all these movies into TV shows now. I don't understand why.
Well, it's because the movie sold well, so,
yeah.
you know.
Like Snowpiercer. There's a TV show about Snowpiercer.
Oh, my wife has been watching that recently. Well, she got to watch up to the first season, and then
I heard it was bad.
I'm not the biggest fan of the movie either. Like, I get what they're doing with it, and there's
Whoa.
some set pieces.
You're treading on some thin ice here, pal. I love Snowpiercer.
Bong Joon-ho, when he makes a film about classism, he likes to express himself, and I'll respect that. But between his 2 pieces of classism, Parasite, 100% of the way, trumps Snowpiercer.
Yeah, but Snowpiercer is like a sci-fi version. It's great.
I know, but it just feels so impractical. Like, where exactly does everybody sleep in the upper class? They're just constantly partying.
You're gonna get hung up on fucking semantics?
Yeah, I am,
Oh my
because
God.
I want to believe the world that they're in, and it's already like
They sleep.
a hard enough
They
sell.
sleep in those bunks. There's all those layered bunk beds.
You think a bunch of rich people are like, I'm gonna go sleep?
Oh,
in
where
some
do
bunk
the
beds?
rich people sleep? Oh, like side cabins. I don't fucking know. They're rich. They don't sleep. They just stay up eating caviar all day.
all day, all night, for the
All
rest
night
of
and all
the
day.
time.
They eat caviar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they made a TV show out of it, which they've been doing with every fucking movie that comes out now. Haven't seen it. I think I heard it was bad. Doesn't take away from how amazing this fucking movie is, in my opinion.
You could fry a leg on my stomach.
I love how it starts when Gale's just stepping over the chair, and that's like kind of that awkward shot of his like crotch. Sexy beast. It's just so good.
I love the boulder. I feel like there's foreshadowing in it that sets up the rest of the film. As far as him dodging, a bullet.
Dodging a bullet? Yeah, sure.
There's an amazing match cut that goes from the pool scene from day to night. I thought that was creative. You're kind of just like living with these people, right? He's got a wife. He's got two other friends that come over for a barbecue.
When H, whatever the fuck that guy's name is,
H.
Shut up, H.
his buddy, is giving him shit about the tiles, it's just establishing their current life.
You can have different colours. Fuck off. Straight up, I'm telling you. Aquamarine, deep blue, mid blue, tangerine, lilac, pink, plain, anything you want. They got a chart.
Is that right?
Check it out. Have a look at the range.
Charlie's at it.
I'm not. Oh, what do you know? Look, girl, just have the fucking plain.
I fully intend to. Now eat your sausage.
Something about the pool montage that really spoke to me was that, like, after a while, after they got some scripted dialogue out of the way, they do this thing, and I'm not criticizing it for this. You see this in so many other films when it's like, when it's montage time and the directors, they just like let the actors go loose, let them live their lives, and the camera operators just got to capture these moments. These are now just human beings, playing house, having fun.
Naturalistic, kind of.
Naturalistic, yeah.
And it just shows like how everything is zen, everything is perfect, and something big comes to really fucking shake up and disrupt their current happy life.
And before we get to that, I just want to cap that section with like, at the end of that montage, how they have that cool shot where like he's making out. What's the lead's name again? Gale. Yeah, where he's making out with his wife, and they're kind of like floating. Like obviously it's metaphorical and whatnot, but like they're floating over the hillside in the sky. And I was just like, oh, this guy knows how to make a fun looking movie. But once you get to that dinner scene,
the dinner, dude.
Speaking of great dialogue,
like just them fucking living their lives, they're gonna go to dinner, they're having a good dinner, they're at a nice restaurant, and he's like,
I'm gonna have the calamari. Are you having?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, I've got mussels. You like mussels? Have the mussels.
No, I think I'm gonna have this chicken thing.
Aich and Jackie walk in, and he can see that there's like some contention between the two, and he's like, just leave it outside, let's have a fucking nice dinner, come on. He thinks it's about a fight,
ruining our perfect Spanish utopia.
Jackie's like, you're retired, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm definitely retired. She's like, are you sure? He's like, I'm retired, Jackie, I told you. And that gives you a sense of like, was he assassin or this or that? Like, it's like, how did he earn this lifestyle that we're seeing now?
Right, well, you've asked me and I've said no. That's it. So, why are we still talking?
And then as soon as they say,
Can we have a phone call? Just before we left the house. It was Don Logan. Oh, Christ.
It hits him like a fucking brick.
Don Logan.
And it's actually a very creative name choice, because I heard that. I thought he was like a Don. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
But after a few more scenes, they kept calling him Don, and I'm like, oh, okay, that must be his name.
Yeah, yeah.
But that had some more power to it, at least that I was feeling when I heard the name.
With not explaining it to death, their reaction to the fucking name, Don Logan, pretty much tells you everything you need to know. Oh, this guy is fucking scary. He's probably erratic. He's probably... No one wants to see him. No one wants him there. Why is he coming? Their little slice of paradise is about to change drastically by one fucking person.
And then he's just like...
What are you having? I'm having a calamari.
I mean, he's fucking panicking just by a name. Just by the presence of someone.
I loved it. I loved it. It was good.
Oh, right. And there was that dream sequence.
Yeah. I was curious what your interpretation of all that was.
You see that beast in the beginning, and I feel like that's like his past trauma that he's trying to escape, maybe haunting him. And with Don Logan coming into town, that's like all of it coming back for him. And he knows that there's this problem that he can't escape, or he knew eventually it would come back for him, whether it be Don or whether it be any of these other characters that we meet later in the film.
All I can do is tell him to his face that I'm not interested. That's all I can do.
So yeah, when they're driving from the airport, H is in the back, Jackie's driving, and then Don is sitting shotgun, and it's just like you could feel the tension in the car. And then what does Don Logan say? Something like,
Gotta change my shirt. It's sticking to me. I'm sweating like a cunt.
"What the fuck?"
What a great first impression. As an observer who has no stakes in the game, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's fucking amazing.
So this is a Spanish villa, is it?
Bit remote, innit? Bit cut off.
No, it's perfect, Don. It's just how we like it. Do you want to have a look round?
Yeah, I will in a minute when I have a piss.
These people are terrified of Don Logan. He's in control. They're all trying to appease him to not make him angry. H is like, "I'm going to take the ladies to dinner." And then Don Logan's like, "Yeah, here, I'll pay for it." He's like, no. He's like, "Shut the fuck up and take my money." And he's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." It just shows like his control over these people. He's like an abusive stepfather. Like, that's what he feels like, you know?
That type of like sexy beast is also personified in him, but like more the toxic masculinity side and whatnot.
I'm not really up to it.
Not up to it.
No, I'm not.
I see. Listen, Gal, I'm going to tell you a little story.
And then just that scene at the pool with Don and Gail when he's trying to get him to do the job and explain to him what the job is.
I know a bloke who knows a bloke who knows a bloke.
Hello.
That montage, a lot of fun shots, and I love how like it's all about one person telling the other person the news and relaying it to Gail, with Don being kind of the middleman. And by the time you reach the end of that montage of like figuring out what this job is and who's coming through, there's this cool moment where Don is asking a question.
Like standard gradings, TMD, remember them?
And then it cuts to the different part of Don from a different time and space answering that question.
Yeah, safety deposits, late 70s.
Like almost as if he's having a conversation with himself.
It was cool.
In hindsight is also really interesting foreshadowing for what happens later on too. But
yeah, interesting.
Very, very creative stuff.
I didn't think of that, actually. I love when they originally called Don, though, for the job, and he's just watching TV, and he picks up, like, just eyes glued to the television. It just shows, like, what a psycho this dude is. I don't know, introducing all these characters in this weird... It just worked really well. That part a lot reminded me of, like, a Guy Ritchie film, kind of.
Oh,
like
totally.
Like a Snatch or, like, you know,
the revolving door shots and things like that.
Yeah. Actually, I love the revolving door shot in my notes.
Yeah, it's a good one. Points to how they depict the orgy without having to show actual sex.
Right,
But still make
yeah.
you feel just as uncomfortable watching them
Right.
watching them. The shot of the vault doors opening that first time was just so, like, Kubrick-esque.
Yeah, it did remind me of Kubrick, you're right. Then it goes into him trying to convince Gail to take the job.
Yeah, thanks for thinking of me. But I'm just going to have to turn this opportunity down.
No, you're just going to have to turn this opportunity, yes.
What?
Do the job.
No, Don.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I can't.
You can.
I can't.
That cunt.
Don, don't do this.
Do what?
Look,
What am I doing?
this.
This what?
He's like a fucking wild animal. It's so good.
And then they go to the bar, and that opening shot at the bar there, it was just perfect depicting the relationship between these two, how he's facing away and Gail's looking back towards the bar, and then he's like,
She's all right, Jackie, isn't she?
Yeah, she's great.
I fucked her. I quite liked her.
Did you?
And that was kind of a big thing, and that kind of shows like his true intentions, I feel like. He wanted to go there to see Jackie. Hence why he called her in the first place. Like, why wouldn't he just call, Gail?
oh, that's a good point. I didn't think that.
That's why he wants Gail to take the job so bad, so that way he has an excuse essentially to like maybe be there longer, just be involved with him somehow. That way he could be closer to Jackie. So I think that's really the driving factor. I don't think he gives a shit if Gail does a job or not. I just think he clearly does give a shit, but he wants Gail to do the job because he thinks that will get him closer to Jackie, I think.
Notes on the beach scene that they have right after the bar.
Yeah.
Don's just like, he's trying to be soft, and he's trying a new tactic.
Talk to me, gal. I'm here for you. I'm a good listener.
What can I say, Don? I've said it all. I'm retired.
Shut up.
yeah.
Oh, God.
There's so many scenes that show how unstable Don Logan is. Well, I think it was like maybe him driving him somewhere, and there's a goat in the road, and like,
Oh, yeah.
Gail slams on the brakes, and Don's like,
What's that?
It's a goat.
they're a fucking nuisance. And then Don's like,
What's it looking at me for?
Like, the goat is not trying. I mean, it's great. You know.
Do you think they improvised? No, but I mean, like,
No.
they could have put anything over there, right? Like, because you never cut to it.
Oh, I guess they didn't show it. Yeah. No, I just think that I don't know. I think it was in the script. I actually have the original script. I'm actually in the middle of reading it because I was just
nice.
because I hadn't seen this movie in so long, and I remember really liking it. And I was like, I gotta rewatch this. And I rewatched it. I was like, dude, that dialogue is so good. I gotta read the script.
Yeah.
Just for my own personal, like, you talk about what inspires me. The way the characters speak to one another inspires me in that movie. How the dialogue is written, you know. There's not big exposition dumps. There's not big. It's just showing these characters' emotions, and with the little things, they're saying all we need to know about their past, about what they don't want to do, about what they want to do, about their intentions. So as like someone trying to write screenplays, to me, I'm like, whoa, this is like a fucking really serious masterclass in writing dialogue that actually matters. That's funny, that's quick, that's smart, and that actually matters. And I'm like, oh shit, this is like some good inspiration to take.
I agree. It also just really complements or just feels like it appropriately takes you to where it eventually escalates within reason. So when they're like having that awkward dinner back at the house, there's this head turn shot.
I've worked in an office. I was 17. Does that surprise you?
Well, you were 17.
Oh, when he turns his head super slow?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
You've got very nice eyes, Dee Dee. Never noticed them before. They real?
Let's go to back.
I'll give you a hand.
And everybody just slowly makes their way.
Leaves the room. Yeah, that was amazing.
There was him talking in the mirror scene, which was kind of like the foreshadowing I was talking about with that montage.
Shouldn't have told him that. Shouldn't have said anything there. Where? Back there in the bar. Back Jackie. Jackie Packy. What, gal? He's all right. Still giving too much of yourself away, mate. Fucking mouth. Let's keep stum. Stum, cook, stum. Big mouth, fucking big mouth. Dun.
You think he's like using that moment to decompress and kind of strategize and maybe come out of it a little more cool-headed, and then just immediately runs into Gail's bedroom.
Lazy bastard!
Don explodes,
I would like to leave now, this minute, please.
and he's like, all right, fucking, I'm out of here. Then he lights a cigarette on the plane.
I'm afraid you
No,
can't.
I'm not going to pull it out. You're just going to have to wait till I've finished it. As simple as that.
So that's actually a really interesting scene. Him lighting up the cigarette, being a total asshole on the plane. That's what we know from Don. Gets off the plane.
I hope this crashes. Open the fucking door!
But as soon as he's in that, like, office with like the airport security or whatever it is, he totally turns into a different person. And I'm like, oh, he's like a criminal. There's a reason why he's in the position he's in. Crime syndicate wise.
All European
But before you
airlines.
start, I want to say something. Let me ask you something, please. Have you ever been sexually assaulted? No, neither have I. Until today, on that plane.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said. Here's me, put my bag up in the cupboard. Next thing you know, I feel hands on me. Someone's touched me. Touched my front bottom. I can't believe it. I've gone all cold. I look round. He's standing there, isn't he? That steward with the guilty look on his face. I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. I had to sit down. I was that perturbed. And then his mate, the other one, who's giving us all lessons on what we do if we land in the sea, how to work your life jacket, etc., he starts looking at me, all funny, suggestive. Now, I don't know whether they wanted me for a twos-up or something. I don't know how they work it. But I tell you what, it scared me. I was shaking like a leaf. So, without thinking, I lit up a cigarette to calm my nerves.
He immediately shifts the tone. The scene started here with this being Don, this being the security officer, and ended here where the security officer is like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry about that.
You never see him say it, the security officer, but you could just tell just by staying on him.
You're right, yeah. So that just shows you all that you need to know about Don.
Oh my god, and then things really start to explode, but they do something really, really creative and clever.
Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm some sort of fucking cunt? Some fucking twat? Do you think I'm gonna have that? Do you really think I'm gonna have that? My fucking ears were burning all the way, fucking back in the fucking cab, fucking on fire.
Don, after he comes back to the house, starts going on a rampage.
I'm gonna kill you, gal.
We've neglected to mention the pool boy who comes and helps out, and he's on the scene, and he's protective of this family that pays him.
You point a gun at me. Don't shoot me.
I'll have that.
There you go. And then Gale's wife comes out with a 2-barrel, and brilliantly, we cut away and we're in London.
I love this shot. It cuts right to the name of the building that Don would not shut the fuck up about to tell Gale to go.
Friday, the Grosvenor, you'll be there.
No.
Yes, Grosvenor!
I won't be there.
You will!
No, Don.
Yes, 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 yes!
Cut to the sign of the Grosvenor. Like, it's so good.
When you jump to that point, I'm just like, they must have stalemated and he must have come out to London.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, like, as he's being confronted by pretty much the client.
Teddy Bess.
The actor's name is Ian McShane, who is fucking terrifying in this movie.
Oh, totally. Then they start asking questions. The fact that, like, the first time they ask him.
Now you come across. Who? Don.
Don? He was alright. He was Don, wasn't he? Why?
Just trying to trace back.
I'm like, oh shit, I guess they killed him. Like just by hearing it. And then when he's eating at lunch or breakfast, he's being interrupted.
Yeah.
Cutting to those moments then. It just felt like it was like the only thing that was on Gale's mind as he was sort of being soft interrogated was like that murder.
I wouldn't even call it soft interrogation. They were fucking pushing him pretty hard. Just Ian McShane's presence, his stare is fucking terrifying.
Next thing he phones me from Heathrow. Says, see you Friday night. That's how he left it.
But he didn't phone you from Heathrow.
Oh, he didn't fucking phone me from Heathrow, but he phoned me. I'm not lying, Ted.
And he just stares at him. He's like,
all right.
And he like walks away. Gale knows that they know, right?
Oh, yeah.
You could tell that he's stressing, but he's just trying to act accordingly until the job. Into the spa. They go through the spa into the, which is hilarious that it's a spa because like we started at him at his own spa essentially, and now he's like doing this job which is also involving a spa. When they start breaking down the walls, that's when he starts having the flashbacks of we actually see what went down with that last night with Don.
You may have not needed to continue cutting to the murdering of Don then, but it felt so appropriate as he's like dealing every blow brick by brick to that. I'm pretty sure by the time they finish that job, they show Don in like that horrifying shot where like the lighting creates shadows over his eyes, so it looks like his eyes were gouged out, which I don't think they were.
No.
And he's just like telling Aish,
I fucked Jackie.
Like that's the last thing he says. I fucked Jackie.
Yeah, well. Oh, fuck you now, haven't I?
smacks him with whatever that was.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Also, did they all have to get out of the pool because of an electrical shock?
Something in like electrical trip or something like that when they broke through the wall. So they all had to get the fuck out before the water became electrocuted.
Oh, interesting.
Everyone all right?
They get into the vault. They start picking all these safety deposit boxes and stealing all the shit. The fucking urn. Oh, so gross.
Oh my god. He pours out, it's just ash. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Who is it?
It's Teddy.
What do you want?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I need your help, Harry. Something's happened.
And then Teddy does this power move where he takes Gale into the client's house and caps him.
No, I'm all right.
Okay, so it's insinuated that he fucked Teddy at that orgy.
Yeah, so there was a moment where Teddy was on his knees, but I didn't see anyone behind him. So, like, I wasn't sure what to make of that.
I think it's insinuated that that guy banged him. In the orgy scene, he's staring at the back of Teddy's head, and then Teddy's like, what the fuck are you looking at? He's like, I'm looking at the back of your head. And then he asks him, he's like, are you into man or woman? And he's like, oh, yes. So it's like he's clearly into both. So I think that's insinuated that they fucked, and then he decides to rob the dude. He knew Teddy had been to the vault, obviously, to place his valuables, which is a pack of cigarettes. And he knew that Teddy was like a thief. The guy was kind of flexing on Teddy, being like, you can't break into this shit. So after the guy finds out that he's robbed, clearly he thinks probably Teddy would be the one. So maybe that's why Teddy killed the guy.
I see.
Cold fucking scene, dude. Like,
yeah.
Ice in your veins for Gale. You're like, Gale's gonna get killed. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, And Gale knew when he's like, get in the car. Gale's like, oh, fuck, here I go.
And the fact that, like, he ultimately let him go, that was horrifying.
He threatens him, kind of?
Yeah, he says,
If I fucking cared, if I gave a solitary fuck about Don, get out of the fucking car.
he just wanted an answer and a confession. And maybe if Gale confessed, maybe he still would have been alive. I think at that point, that's when I was convinced.
Well, I think he did confess.
Well, he never says it.
But Teddy says,
Spain, eh? Yeah. I must drop in sometime. Pay my respects.
meaning he told him that he probably buried him under the pool.
Oh, I didn't gather that at all.
Yeah.
I just thought he was going out there to, like, intimidate him or something like that.
I think he was like, Spain, I'll have to come out there sometime to pay my respects. I think paying your respects to someone who's dead. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So I think he did tell him, because what is Gale's last thing he says to him before that? He's like,
I'm not into this anymore, Ted.
He probably just admitted to him what happened.
Maybe, I don't know.
He probably told him that Don was attacking him and that...
No, you know what? I think he was fishing, because he still was, like, waiting for Gale to say anything regarding it up until the very last moment when he dropped him off, just to even acknowledge it. But, like, I don't think he ever did. So I wonder if him saying pay respect was him trying to, like, ease Gale into confessing, perhaps.
No, I think he told him, because that's why he says, like, if I gave a single fuck about Don, I would do something, and I'll have to come pay my respects. I think he told him off camera, which is a interesting move to have people like us discuss it 24 years later. And I love that he pays him $10 for the job.
How much did he say you're on for this, Cal?
He wasn't that specific, he just said...
Well, I'm going to give you a tenner.
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, that's it?
Well, because he killed Don. So that's why he must have admitted to him. So he's like, I'll pay you $10 fucking. He's like, you got change? All I have is 20. I don't think he even actually gave him the $10. He just told him to get the fuck out. So all that, he didn't get paid for that job. He got those earrings.
But he got out with his life.
He got out with his life.
I just don't believe that he confessed it off camera.
I think he did.
All right, well.
You hungry, love? Should I fix you a sandwich?
That'd be lovely.
And then what? We see Don, and then he's back at the pool.
Yeah, he's back at the pool. Everyone's happy.
And Don's under the pool. Also, I think with him was maybe Gale's, like, fear of his past coming back for him. And that's why the evil rabbit that looks like it's from Donnie Darko, ironically, kicks open Don's grave, and Don's just smoking a cigarette. And he's like, fuck you, or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was very fascinating, how they choose to play that out. How Don is just so chill sitting in there.
Yeah.
That's Sexy Beast.
That's it.
This is a good movie. Thank you for the recommendation.
You're welcome, man. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I really like that movie.
Very rich in dialogue. And again, I really do appreciate a film that doesn't just hobble over the place in its chronology just to get a rise out of someone. It's pretty consistent. And then when it breaks that rule, it's totally there to complement the psychology of the character.
Right, absolutely. And it's actually funny because, like, so the first thing I've seen, I mean, probably the first thing I can remember Ray Winstone being in was The Departed, which came out in 2004. And it's funny because he plays, like, a similar character. Well, he's not similar, but he's a criminal, you know? So it's, like, funny to see the different shades of how that guy can play a criminal.
This is America. You don't make money, you're a fucking douchebag. Now what you gonna do?
Oh, make more money. That's the spirit.
I should have mentioned this before, but also this movie heavily inspired Grand Theft Auto 5.
Really?
Yeah, so Michael in GTA 5, he's at his poolside, gut out, chilling. His former crime life is over with. He doesn't want to get back into it. And then someone from his past, kind of like Don, comes into his life again. And then all of a sudden he's sent back on a crazy fucking loop. Apparently the writers of GTA 5 were heavily inspired by Sexy Beast, which I think is kind of awesome.
And that is one of the highest selling games of all time, I think. If not
yeah.
three, right?
Yeah,
So
I think, one or two, right?
It's almost like the film is immortalized in other works whenever they kind of take inspiration from it. So that's really cool.
I've heard other things too. Plenty of other things. Strange, funny noises. And we've seen things too.
I have something totally random that I thought of that I wanted to ask you.
Sure, what?
We talked about it a couple episodes ago. Maybe it was even the old podcast. Quentin Tarantino canceled his movie, The Movie Critic. You know, because he's only making one more movie. He's making his 10th movie, and he didn't want it to be that, or whatever the reason he canceled it was. If, say, he makes 10th movie, whatever it is, original IP, would he still do Kill Bill Volume 3? Because he considers the first Kill Bills to be one movie. Would he consider a third part to be a part of that same movie, or would he consider it an extra movie?
I don't know, because then what does that make Kill Bill then? A series?
A trilogy.
Yeah, a trilogy of movies.
Right, but so the first two the Kill Bill 2 is a sequel to the first one, but he considers it one movie.
Yeah, but Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back, those are totally different films. Just because Kill Bill 1 and 2 are just so, like, close to each other, he may not consider them two different films.
Right.
I understand all of his intention in making them different. Like, well, one's Japanese inspired and the other one is Western inspired. So for him to say that's one movie when it's two, it's just like, okay.
He originally wanted the first two movies actually to be one movie, but it was way too fucking bloated and too long, and he just couldn't do it.
At what point in that process do we know when he decided to just make it two films?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Because I feel like it was very intentional how he shot the second one, and it was very different from how he shot the first one.
I love Kill Bill 2.
I love them both.
The first one's great too, obviously.
I guess the answer to your question is, I would say it's a cheap move to call the third story not a film, especially since he's been building up this whole, like,
Did
once
you
I
see
do 10 movies,
balloons?
I'm done.
I just saw balloons. No, on the screen. Like, it was like... What's happening?
Because I did a hand gesture, I think. That's fucking weird.
I'm trying to do the balloons. How do you... Balloons! Congratulations! Happy
thumbs up.
anniversary! You got... There's fireworks!
Do a thumbs up!
I'm so happy to be at your baby's funeral. There's no on-screen fireworks for that one.
Yeah, because it's a baby's funeral, asshole.
Well, what if it's an abortion, Matt? That's a good thing. Abortion! Fireworks!
Hey! What the fuck?
Oh my god, I hope that recorded, because that's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
So, yeah, to answer your question, first off, it should count as a film. It's okay if you make an 11th film. It's okay if you make a 12th film, you know?
Well, I just think he wants to bow out before he loses his fucking shit.
We've seen things that no one has seen before. You can't take that away from us.
Speaking of filmmakers having stories to tell, maybe tell some people watching, other than us, how they can maybe tell those stories in a very short amount of time with a couple other idiots that like to do the same thing. I tried to do a plug.
I see what you did there.
I tried to do a plug. It didn't really work.
No, that was a great transition at the very least. So September 16th to September 22nd is our next Breakneck Film Race. It is the third one of this year. Me and Zach and our other friend Steve, who was on the fourth episode, Fury Road, we're all going to be making films. So come make some films with us if you want to practice your craft, or if you just want to, I don't know, do something stupid with your camera. Have fun with it. We're going to have fun with it while stressing out on how to make it look good by the end of the deadline. Anyways, I got to start wrapping things up and head out. But,
all right, man, yeah.
This is a good one. Also, if you don't care to make films at all, but you like the shit we make, please watch this. Give it a like and subscribe. I know if you've been watching or not. The analytics suggest, so shame on you for lying if you lie, but if you don't
fucking shame them. We need all the people we can get.
We do. But also watch our Breakneck films that are on the YouTube channel. What else you got, Zach?
That's it, man. This is fun.
Oh, bless. All right. Well, till next time.
60 Beast. Okay. We gotta save for episode 60. All right, I'll cut.